Hello and welcome to a tutorial for doing custom villagers. Now, this is the first tutorial I've ever done, so it'd be greatly appreciated if there's feedback in the comments below based on what I do here. Now, what this tutorial does is teaches you how to make custom villagers using a command block. Now, the first thing you need to know is first of all how to get a command block. Now, the command is /give player name. My player name is JWingWangWong, and then you type in Minecraft command block, and it should drop a command block for you, as you saw right there. Let's empty space right there. I guess there's already one in my inventory, and you place it right here. Now, I'm using a snapshot of Minecraft right now. I'm currently using the 14W26C snapshot, which is about between 1.7 and 1.8, and so this may not work. Some things may or may not work in 1.7, but anyways, what we're gonna do here is right click here and then place the button. Now, to place the button, you cannot press right click because you'll actually access the console command. So what you have to do is press shift, then right click it, and then the button will be there. Now, you'll need this button in the future to execute the command. It's kind of like a redstone contraption. You need something to initiate it in order for it to happen. So this thing here makes that thing happen. And so that's what we're going to start right there. Alright, so this is going to be the thing that helps you make these custom villagers. And what you have to do for these custom villagers is write a command that starts with the word summon. Now, in warning, you need to make all the stuff I'm going to type in with caps, case sensitive. If you type stuff with lowercase or uppercase, chances are it may not work. Probably, actually, it won't work at all. So make sure you follow the right words I'm saying, or else it won't work. Now, to start off this command, you can just do /summon villager. Now, I do not think this command will work on its own. Actually, it does, because it just gets placed inside the block. Now, you don't want that to happen. So the next, you can summon a villager just like that, but chances are that's not what you came here for. So you want to make a custom villager. So the first thing we need to deal with is not making it spawn inside the block. So what we're going to do is put 3 tildes like this and put a 1 right here. Now, these 3 tildes represent X, Y, and Z in respect to where the block is placed. So if so I put a 1 here, which means it'll be placed 1 above the block. So if I do this command right now, it'll be placed 1 above the block as a normal villager. So we're going to get rid of that villager right there, and that's the first essential thing you need to know, is that this will summon the villager, and that it will be placed one up from where the block is located. So it will be placed on top of the block so it doesn't get stuck inside the block. The next thing you have to do here is put an open bracket and close bracket. Now, here's the important thing. You will need open to keep track of your open and close brackets as well as your colons. Because if you miss your colons or any close and open brackets, your program will not work, and you'll get in the output not object successfully summoned, but something else. So we're gonna go from here and just type in the first thing you probably want to know. So your villagers have different professions in the game. There's about 6. There might be more in the future. Them being farmer, librarian, priest/cleric, blacksmith, butcher, and generic. That goes from 0 to 5. So if I type in if I type in 0 as so, you'll get a normal looking guy. I think that's a let's go down here. That's a farmer, and you'll see right here he just gives you wheat and all that sort of goodies. We don't need that. So let's try maybe 2, which is a priest and cleric, and it should appear with a different type of robe. And let's do also librarian, which is 1, and it should have a white jacket like that. And if you know already, it gives book-based stuff. So Yes, that's the first thing you need to know, is that professions choose what type of trades it gives, and also what type of robe it wears. Now, that's not the main thing right now, because as you know, we're doing custom trades that it will offer. So the second thing we need to know is the career. Now, this thing is important, not because you don't, because you might want to end your villager's career, as in it won't make more random trades. Now, what you'll do from here is do career semicolon 1, which means it has done its career, and then career level, which is 100, which means it is maxed out on levels, so it will not advanced. Now, I've been actually testing this out, and the only time it advances is if you only have like one trade offer, because then it could get stuck forever. So what Minecraft did was say, okay, we'll just give you the rest of the careers right after that. So that's just for a safety to prevent any sort of like glitches or an ending villager, because that would be terrible. So that's what that's there for. Believe it or not, I was reading some tutorials saying you could use a cauldron for to end a trade, but the problem, that might work if you're just doing a single trade, and then also put that at the very end just to prevent any further trades. But then it also might actually spawn in a random trade anyway, so you need this careers thing and maybe that cauldron thing as well. But we're not going to talk about the cauldron thing, because that's just that's not a guaranteed method of it working. Now, the second thing we're going to next thing we're going to talk about is custom names. Now, to give it a custom name, you type in custom name colon, I might say semicolon, but I actually truly mean colon, and then you type in whatever you want. Let's just call it, also putting less spaces helps, just put it Jimmy Neutron, and then you go here, right click it, and your guy is now named Jimmy Neutron. Now, I've been doing custom name visible as another feature to show it visible overhead or not, but I've been noticing that when I try that tag, it does not work. But leave it in the comments below if it does work or not. As I'll put it in the paste bin, the paste file in the description below, but we're gonna skip it because I've noticed that it hasn't been working. Now, okay, the next thing you need to know, the next and the most important thing to know, is understanding the offers thing. Now, the offers thing is something that tells the system that you're making, that this villager is going to be making custom offers that you put into it. So make sure you put a colon after offers and 2 brackets, because it's going to be a bunch of listed items. And then right after that, you type in the word recipes, and then put also a colon as well. And what we're going to do is copy this recipe I just already put out. And what I recommend doing is going to this website right here and typing in what type of IDs you want. This is a perfect site to get the IDs of certain items that you need. But we're going to talk later in the future some items that do not work as expected. For example, lapis lazuli, if that's how you pronounce it, does not have, you do not put semicolon, no, you don't put colon .4, /4, or anything like that. We're going to discuss what this is later on, but first we're going to talk about making this recipe that I have currently cooked up for us guys. So as it says right here, you need to put offers first, then the curly bracket, then recipes, then another sort of bracket, but this is not a curly bracket. You put a square bracket here. It's a special, I don't know why, I think it's because it's a list of some sort, but that's what they want you to do. So you put a square bracket like that, and then from there you type in the first thing you need, which is max uses. Now what max uses does is, I'll go up here, it tells you the number of uses it can use before you have to trade a different offer. So if what happens is if I put 4 here, it will only trade 4 times and then it'll stop, and then you have to trade something else, which is why it's there. And then you put a comma right there, and then you type in buy, type in buy semicolon. Also, I forgot to mention, you have to put a comma between each feature, so like max uses. Once you're done that, you put a comma right between these. If you don't do it, it may break the program, so you have to be careful when you're doing this. And so what you're gonna do is you type in by square squiggly bracket and curve and then squiggly end bracket, and then you type in the ID, which is the type of item it is, that which I was mentioning previously from this website. You're gonna go here and type in that website and figure out which ID item you want. So let's do actually lapis lazuli. As I said before, it's not going to be something that you type in 351 semicolon for. It's going to be 351 and damage for. But we're not going to. We're going to discuss this thing right here. So it's ID 351, and so you type in a comma right after that, and then you type in the count. And now the C has to be capitalized because it won't work otherwise. And then count does what is the number of things the villager wants from you in order to give you something back in return. So the count is going to be, let's say 4. So it probably wants 4 from us. And then you can put a comma after that. And then you can put damage. And this is essential for doing all these special types of items that needs a colon of some sort, because what Minecraft did was made it so that dyes, certain types of woods and other things are based off of durabilities. Now, you don't actually ever see these durabilities in game because you can't actually break down a dye or something like that, but they made it so that each time it gets damaged, which never happens, it changes to a different item, just like how your sword breaks over time and you see a bar slowing down. So that's what Minecraft did, was compress all the familiar items like dyes, woods, and logs to this, so it doesn't use much like data, I'm guessing, so it can repeat the characteristics because there's nothing really different between them except for looks and colors. So for damage, you put 4 for lapis because that is what the semicolon, not semicolon, the colon says right here. So that will make it lapis lazuli. So we are done here for the buy, but if you really wanted to, you can add a tag. And what tags do is add modifiers to the item. Now, modifiers can be anything from custom name to enchantments to stored enchantments. It can be almost those features that changes the attribute of the item. Well, we won't get into the really technical ones, but the ones that you'll probably be using the most, which is enchant, stored enchantments, and display name. So what you have to type in order to make a custom name is to do tag, comma, no, colon, and then you go here, and then you put that in, and then you type in display, and then you put colon, and then you put name, and you put wow, and then you put end bracket, end bracket, and I gotta double check it. I gotta keep my track of brackets, and that should do it for that. And then you press comma here, and then you type in cell, and you put whatever you really want here. So buy and sell have the identical attributes. There's nothing different about them. So if you have a buy or sell, their attributes are the same. There's still an ID, count, you can put damage, tag, or whatever. And we'll also talk about buy B in a bit after we talk about sell. So sell is the thing that villagers give you in return for giving them something that they want. So let's make, for example, this being in a bottle of enchantment. So let's do, or actually let's not make it a bottle of enchantment. Let's make it a enchanted book. So what we're gonna do is look up the enchanted book ID. So enchanted book, and it turns out to be 403. So what you gotta do is type in ID colon 403. Then you press comma, and then you type in count colon 1. You probably I don't think a villager would offer more than 1, because that would be kind of crazy. But you can do whatever you want. You put like 2, 3, 1,000. I don't think books stack, so that's why it would be such an issue. So what I mean by books, I mean enchanted books. But okay, so we're gonna press comma here, and then we'll go to do tag. And now this is where the technicality comes in. There's 2 types of enchantment tags. One being inch or enchantment, which is the enchantment of the item. So say for example, a sword can get sharpness 2, and then it can give a better attack damage. That's what enchantment tag does. But stored enchantment, what it does is gives the item a stored enchantment, which is like the thing that you put onto enchanted books, which is what we're doing. This is what you put on the anvil, and then the anvil will fuse that sword with that enchanted book to make a sharpness 2 book, if I make it a sharpness 2 book. So we're going to put tag squiggly bracket. Oh, did I type in the right place? Yeah, I put it right there. And then we're going to go here and type in stored enchantments, and then you put semicolon. I keep getting semicolon and colon confused. And then you put a square bracket here and an end bracket here for that, and then you go inside and then put a squiggly bracket. And what you're going to be putting in here is the ID of the enchantment. Now I'm going to put ID 35, which is I think fortune, and then the level of that enchantment, which is for this case it's going to be 2, so that's going to be fortune 2. And then from here, I think what we're going to do is already put that bracket in here, and it should be fine as is. Now I'm going to double check all these brackets to make sure there's no conflict. And I think that's fine as is, so I'm going to press done and see if anything comes up. And as you see right there, nothing came up because I have an error. So this is a perfect time to analyze where it went wrong. Your previous output will give an error saying what went wrong and how to save your program. So what you can do is Control V that and read where it went wrong. And it says unbalanced curly brackets. Now we're going to figure out where it started. So from the very beginning, it seems we got something fine here. Max uses 4 by. So we got to figure out where these brackets are coming from. I think I got 4 brackets here, which is too many. So we're going to get rid of one and press done. And there we go. It was just having too many brackets. And so that's what reading your output's important, and it will help you figure out what the issue is. Unbalanced curly brackets means either you have too many brackets or not enough. So we're going to check this villager out, and turns out he has nothing. So we must have done something wrong in the process. So we'll figure it out. We got to double check our work, and from the looks of it, it seems that there either might be too many brackets or not enough. So I'll be right back, and I'll double check what I did wrong, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're back from that, and what the issue was I had previously was I had the brackets in the wrong place. I actually had 2 brackets here when there should have been 3, and that made everything screwed up. And I also forgot to put a bracket here. And that's the perfect thing about having a notepad on the side, is writing your programs in there is going to be a lot easier, because then you can see where you went wrong. And if you notice up here, I wrote it like this because it helps you figure out where your brackets are, and then where they're located to figure out if you've missed brackets or missed putting the right colons in the right places or the commas in the right places, and it makes it a lot easier to understand. So always a good strategy for you to do is write it out like this, write it out spaced out, so you could write it like a program, because programs are kind of written in a way like this, and then backspace it all together in one line, so you can copy it into your console and paste it. I don't think it works like this, where I could just paste it like this. If it does work, I'd be really surprised. Oh, it does. That's actually really surprising. So if you want to, you could really just write it like this, copy it, and paste it. And it would make it so much easier for you to understand as a person, and then it could just be easily pasted. There is no character limit on the command blocks right now, according to some people I've been told. I've heard previously there was, but then that was changed due to creativity reasons. So yeah. Alright, so what we're going to also talk about in this is by B. Now, what by B is, as you notice here, there's two slots. One slot being the first one, and the second one being this one. By B is exactly that. By B is the thing that makes it so, makes, you can have to offer two things to it instead of one. And so what we're going to do is add that to what we had previously. But what we're going to do is go back here to where there was between by and cell, and then you type in by B, and then colon, and then put two brackets here to prevent confusion, and then type in the ID, which we're going to make it a book. So let's find the word book in the ID thing, and it turns out to be 340. So we're going to go ID 340 count, which is going to be 1, and we're going to leave it like that and end with it with a comma because it is what it needs. And we're going to try this out and see what happens. So we're going to right click this block, paste that into here, right click the button, and there you go. It needs a book now and lapis. And also, if you noticed, the lapis is named WoW because I named back previously in the tags that it's going to display name WoW. And if you noticed also, let me also get a book as well, just to figure out if this works or not. We're going to go scroll down and find a book. If you put a book in and lapis, it'll still work anyways. There is no there's nothing against having this as the name doesn't really matter. You can name this whatever you want, but as long as the item matches, it works. Some people may not like that, but that's how Minecraft works. It matches based off the item ID, not by the name. And if that was the case, a lot of things would be messed up and would probably screw it up. So yeah, you can trade with a villager despite it being WoW. And so the next thing you're going to do is, if you want to add another trade, you can. So let's do that actually. Right here is the closing bracket for, let me double check. Alright, so I'm going to go here, double bracket. So what we're going to do is that these are the ending brackets for the first offer, and the square brackets like the ending of all the offers. So we're going to make a brand new one here by putting two brackets like this, and we're going to do buy. And obviously, actually no, we're not going to do buy. We're going to do max uses. Let's go look up max uses again. Max uses is 4. So let's do max uses colon 4. Actually, let's make it 6 this time. Let's make it something incredibly easy to obtain. Let's make it so it's just a 1 emerald, so for testing sakes. So it's that would be 388. So we do buy colon curly brackets ID, which is 388, and the number of emeralds that we'll need is 1. So let's do count colon 1. Now this is going to be an offer that you would obviously love. I'm going to make it so it's like a enchanted diamond sword of some sort. So let's look up enchantments. So let's go here, enchanting. And then this is where you figure out the enchant IDs, which is going to help you in the future to figure out what enchantments you need. So I'm going to do sell, curly bracket, end bracket, and we're going to type in an enchantment item. So we're going to look up sword first. Diamond sword. So diamond sword is 276. So we type in ID, colon, 276, comma. We're also going to type in count, colon, 1. And then we're also going to type in tag. Now the tag is going to be the thing that we're going to put the enchant on. So we put in, I have to re-look at my resources I put here. Tag. Open bracket and curly bracket for that. And then type in inch, which is the enchantment for items, the ones that aren't stored onto a book or anything. And then we'd go from here and type in square bracket and close bracket, and another curly bracket and close bracket. And so from there, we're going to type in, let me just re-look this up again. We're going to type in ID and type in what it was, which it was sharpness was 16, and then comma LVL, which is level, and 5, and that should be it. Let me just double check if it worked. And it worked. And you see right there, it will offer you a diamond, 1 emerald for a sharpness 5 sword. Now that's everyone's dream to get that in the real scenario, but chances are that won't happen, so you'll just have to bet the farm on it right now. So right there, they took 6 swords and then it maxed out. And then you just have to trade with it some more. You have to trade the other item with it, which is like book, 27 lapis, and then you just do this. And you see right there, 4 maxes it out. As I said before, max uses are going to be determined how many you can max out before you can switch with the other thing. So yeah, it's important to know your villager a little bit more, and I think that should cover everything about it. Now, as you recall, damages does affect the durability of the item, and damages also affect the type of item it is, if it's a die of some sort or special case items. I'm going to probably copy this notepad into a paste bin, which you guys can see, and also put the links in it as well, so you can follow along and make your own villager, so you can have good examples. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you need help with questions, I'll try and answer some questions in the comments below. As always, have a great day, please, and see you guys later. Baby